WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Scotland. I'm with a Springbank 15-year-old rum cask maturation for 51% ABV. Ooh. And very, very important, limited edition. Yeah, 9,000 bottles were in this batch, December 2003. It was distilled on the 27th of August 2019. It actually was bottled, whiskey base number 138562. I have no idea if this will, or if this has, or if this will not make it to the States. Over here in Germany, this has been one of those hyper bottles. Everyone wants to have it. In Cadenheads, then in Campbelltown, it actually was a release price of 75 euros. It came to Germany, quickly went up to 95 euros. I bought my bottle for 96 euros, and then after the bottles became scarcer, it went up to 135 euros, and it's just like, oh, wow. Now, this is the very, very first bottling of a 15-year-old in cask strength. Now, I'm not really sure if 51% is 100% cask strength. 51%. It doesn't say cask strength anywhere in the bottle. Cask type, rum barrels, bottled, turnout, outrun 9,000, distilled December, and so on. But it's almost cask strength. All right. So I'm just on my journey to understand what Springbank is. The distillery, the taste of the spirit, and so on. I bought at the auction something called a CV. It's no longer there. It came out 2010, basically, and I've been using this now to understand what a Springbank could be. I had the 18, really love that, and now we have the Springbank. At least I have the Springbank 15 Rum Edition. So the very first thing you notice is it's sweet. Well, Jason, no wonder. It's 15 years old in a rum barrel. It's not a finish, it's a maturation. It's a full maturation, 15 years old in a rum barrel. Now, I personally, for example, am not a big fan of rum. If you take, for example, my beloved Angel's Envy, you take the rye and they take their rye, which is then finished in a rum barrel, I go, yucky, too much rum. If you take the Caribbean cask here, it's a little bit too much rum from the Balvenie for my taste. Now, this is not too much rum. It just turns into a little bit of sweetness. You go over here. Oh, you get the typical funk of Springbank, a lot of herbs, a lot of moments of different spices together. Very, very nice. And over here, you get the same thing with a little bit more alcohol, 51 versus 46%, and you also get a little bit more of a sweetness, almost like a sugary type of glucose type of corn syrup sweetness. Now, the good thing about Springbank is they actually create jobs in the area. So they have their own malting floors, they have their own visitor center. You can actually sign up and work for a week if you want to. You have to pay to work for a week at Springbank. And I think the waiting list is like 2 years to do the 1 week work duty there, producing your own whiskey. This is a beautiful, beautiful distillery with great people, family owned, very, very nice, even though the prices for the 18 are at 120 euros at the moment, and they're not producing enough for the world, unfortunately. Even Roy at Aquavita keeps on complaining, going, hey, where's my Springbank? I can buy it in Germany, but I can't buy it in Scotland. And that's a shame, yeah? And even we in Germany are going, whoops, it arrived last week, and it was like the end of the week, it was gone. If you did not buy it in the first 3 days, sorry, all gone. And so let's try this. Nice nose, very, very nice. Two things for me. I'm used to the 46% Springbank at the moment. The 18-year-old and the CV were both 46. This is 51. It's got more power, definitely. The 5% ABV really does make a difference. I don't think those rum casks did a lot of subtractive maturation. They might have added a little bit, but there wasn't a lot of active wood still left in there. So it's a tiny little bit hotter than I expected for a 15-year-old. But it is 51%, so hey, don't complain, Jason. And the second thing, which is really, really interesting, is the sweetness. The sweetness is from the beginning to the end almost the same. This is just like one of those notes you have in music. You have 5 different people playing an instrument, and the sixth person does this. Boom. And this gives volume, this gives clarity, this gives support to everything else. And that's what this is. The sweetness is from the beginning to the end the same. It doesn't change. But the only thing interesting is it stays the longest. That Springbank funk, that herbalness, that nice little spiciness dissipates, and the sweetness remains. Now, I did not expect the rum to be as sweet as it is. I was expecting more of a rum moment and not more of a sugar moment. But this is very nice, very sweet, very well done. I'm going to give it a solid. Is it a B? I give it a B minus in my German. I'm going to give it a B minus. B minus to B. The more I'm drinking, the better I like it. All right, so I'm some B whiskey, B minus, someplace around there. The smoke, little bit of Springbank smoke was more evident here than it was here. And it came at the beginning, dissipated, came back, and then left. Even at the end of the finish, there's no real ashtray, there's no real smoke, there's no real peat. There's just a tiny little bit of woof of like a little bit of cigar smoke or tobacco pipe smoke in the end, which is very, very nicely done. Just as a comparison, the CV real quick. I really do like that CV, to be honest. I have a second bottle someplace, and I'm going to keep it for myself. I thought I was going to use it for a tasting, but I think I just enjoy this here together. Water, 51%. I like playing around with a little bit of water here. First of all, the 3 drops. Sorry, 5. It does open up. You get a little bit more of a candied orange moment. Imagine you have orange peel, and you put it in some type of sugar, and you caramelize it. Very, very nice. I keep on forgetting it's 51%. And then breathing and talking at the same time while you have alcohol in your mouth is not the greatest idea. It's got some oomph, a little bit of power there, the 51%, but it's actually not bad. What's the best thing to do, my personal opinion, bring it down to 46%. It even opens a little bit more, the sweetness kicks in a little bit more, the alcohol dissipates a little bit, and you have a very, very fine whiskey. Did they leave it on 51 for a good reason? Probably. Can I adjust it to my own personal needs? Why not? All right, so I'm going to give this between a B and a B minus. 75 euros. It's going to get actually a C plus for that if it came at that price. Unfortunately, it went up to 100 euros fairly quickly. I'm going to give it a C minus for that, which still means you can buy it. All right, 1, why haven't you bought it? 2, buy it. 3, you can buy it. 4, you don't need to buy it. 5, why? Or F, why was it made? So A, B, C, D, F. And so this is a solid B, B minus, and the value for money is a C. If you can get it at 75, it's even C plus. Go for it. All right, do I like Springbank? Apparently, yes. Do I like the rum? Nice. I like the 18 better. I like the CV better, and that's my third one I've had. About a year or 2 years ago, actually, at the beginning of my whiskey journey, I had a Springbank 12 cask strength. Just overwhelmed me. Too much alcohol, too much smoke, too much everything. I was just like, ugh. Now, slowly but surely, I'm making my way towards this direction. Only 1,200 videos in English in German I've done now so far of reviewing whiskeys. But it takes a little while. It takes a little while to get used to things, and it gets a little bit of time to actually to train your palate to see what's great, what's okay, and what's inferior. And Springbank so far has been great. Thank you very much for watching. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays my videos come out. The question of the day is, what is your favorite Springbank? Is it an 18-year-old? Is it a rum cask, 15-year-old fast cask strength finish? Is it an old antique thing, a CV? Which one is your favorite Springbank that's out there? If you actually look at the different bottlings of the different distilleries, Ko'ila has a total of, I think, 18,000 bottlings in total since the creation, if you take a look at Whiskey Base. And Springbank is a close second with like 12,000. So they always do batches. There's always something new coming out from Springbank. And I personally think Springbank is one of the best distilleries to invest in at the moment. Buy a bottle, set it aside, and then, tell somebody in a couple of years that you have that. They'll go like, I'll pay you double what you paid, because many people want to have that great, great whiskey. All right, see you later. Whiskey Jason here. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.